What is a
They're
dhimmi?
not over there.
What is a dhimmi?
You tell me.
Right, I'll tell you exactly what a dhimmi is. A dhimmi comes from the Quran.
Yeah.
It comes from the Quran.
Talk about Britain.
In which Christians are second-class citizens in an Islamic state, ruled by laws
You're a liar.
that mean that
You're a
they
liar,
don't have
you're a
equality
liar, you're a
under the
liar,
law.
You're a Zionist liar.
Under the
That's
law,
what you are, because
under the law,
it's the Christians
under the
who
law,
invited the Muslim
under the
rulers
law of
to
Islam.
come, and they gave them the key
These are
of
lies.
Jerusalem.
These
Yeah,
are
there you
lies.
go. I have to support my
Do
people.
you support the idea
support
of
history.
treating Christians as dhimmis?
No, I don't.
You don't.
No,
so you reject Islamic
no,
teaching
no,
on that then?
No. Hold on.
There you go.
No, hold on.
I applaud
No,
you for
hold
doing
on.
that.
Right.
I applaud you for doing that.
Your description of a dhimmi is not a dhimmi.
I'm sorry, what
Christians-
is your description of a dhimmi?
Yeah, a dhimmi is a person who lives under Islamic law.
So I got that bit right?
Yeah, and is protected equally
From who? From who?
enemy.
They're
or-
protected
no,
from
enemy.
the Muslim
No.
state.
No.
What
They're
happens
protected
if a
from
Christian
outside.
doesn't pay their jizya?
Yeah, just
What
like
happens?
Just like if we don't.
They're
protect
enslaved,
Yeah, no,
they
don't.
lose their property,
No, they don't. No, they don't.
and they're
No, they
killed.
don't. No, they don't.
That's
No, they don't.
that is
That's a lie.
that
That's
is.
a lie.
Are you
Lie.
sure?
That is a
Are you
lie.
sure?
Read the history.
Have you? Yes, I have.
Yeah, read the
I have.
history.
How many history books?
Yeah.
How many
Go
books
back
of
to
martyrology
Listen.
have you read?
Yeah, listen.
Do you know what martyrology is?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Martyrology is the history of the martyrs. Christians in the Islamic world have written their own history and of their own experience of what it meant to be ruled by Muslims, and they are unanimous. They are second-class citizens. They are abused. Let me give you some examples. Shall I give you examples?
Did they have the Christian? Did they have the church?
Are Muslims and Christians treated equally under Islamic law?
Yes, they are.
Right, I'm going to prove him wrong now. Can a Christian man marry a Muslim woman?
No, yes, they can.
Liar. Liar. Liar.
A Christian.
Liar.
A Christian
Shall we
man-
Google him
No,
and
hold
see
on.
if he's telling the truth?
Hold on. A Christian
Shall we
man-
Google him?
Sorry.
Don't
You got
grab
me
my
now.
phone.
No.
Don't grab my phone.
What's the question?
Keep your hands to yourself.
What was the question?
Right, so let's Google him and see if he just lied.
I didn't. I was ignorant.
Let's just Google him and see if he lied. Right?
So, no.
You all heard him say that a Christian man can marry a Muslim woman. You all heard him say that, right? Here's his excuses now.
I didn't hear the question. You can say a lie.
Suddenly I didn't hear. I wonder why he didn't hear. Is it because he just talks incessantly and doesn't listen to an argument? Let's try this again. Now you're listening. Now you're listening. Can a Christian man marry a Muslim woman under Sharia law? Can a Muslim man marry a Christian woman?
If he wants.
There you go. Is that equality under the law, ladies and gentlemen? No. Let me ask you this question. Can a Muslim be the Caliph?
Yes.
Can a Christian be the Caliph?
No.
No. Is that equality under the law, ladies and gentlemen? Can a Muslim convert to Islam in Sharia law?
And a Muslim.
My apologies. Can a Muslim convert to Christianity under Sharia law?
No.
Can a Christian convert to Islam under Sharia law?
If he wants to.
Is that equality under the law, ladies and gentlemen? Let me ask you this question.
If he wants to.
Can a Muslim own Christian slaves under Sharia law?
No.
Liar.
Slavery is abolished.
Shall we see if he's telling the truth?
Slavery is abolished.
Let's-
Maybe I'm ignorant.
Yeah.
As far as I know, slavery in Islam.
You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Shall I tell you what the actual answer is? The actual answer is that under Sharia law, a Muslim can own a Christian slave, but a Christian can't own a Muslim slave. Now, is that equality under the law? No. So have I demonstrated
You got wrong.
by examples
Listen, you don't
that
understand.
Christians don't have
say
equality
bullshit.
under the law?
You're talking bullshit.
What's the bullshit? Ladies and gentlemen, the Muslims choose to believe their own lies. Their own lies about dimitude. But you can see from the sufferings of Christians what they have endured, and you can get the first-hand testimony of Armenian Christians, of Egyptian Christians, of Syrian Christians, of Iraqi Christians, of Indonesian Christians, of Christians from Malaysia, of Christians from Iran. of Christians from Afghanistan. Don't believe the lies of your Dawah propagandists here in the park. Don't believe the lies of the Muslims. Go and speak to the Christians themselves who have suffered under dhimmitude. Go and speak to the Christians themselves who have lost family in anti-Christian pogroms, who have suffered and remember that their grandparents were forced into the narrow part of the road. Go and speak to the Christians about how their churches were desecrated. Your liberal media is lying to you when they tell you that Islam is a benign force in our society. And we have the testimony of 1400 years of Christian experience all across the Middle East, all across Eastern Europe, where Christian children were kidnapped by Muslim armies. We have the examples of the Christians in Pakistan whose girls are kidnapped, bombs are planted in churches, anti-Christian riots are launched in Egypt. Christians in Syria live as second-class citizens. Go and Google the word dhimmitude. Go and look up what the Barnabas Fund says, what Open Doors says, what Release International says about the sufferings of Christians, and then compare these testimonies to the lies of Dawagandists who tell you that dhimmitude is not a religious apartheid. It is a religious apartheid. Let me ask you this question, ladies and gentlemen, a show of hands. And if you're a Christian, I expect you to represent. Do you put your hand up if you have a problem with slavery? Yeah. Keep your hand up if you have a problem with child marriage. Keep your hand up if you have a problem with killing people for becoming Christian. Keep your hand up if you have a problem with the idea of having two sets of laws, one for religious minorities and one for the religious majority. All of you Christians, and I bet you it is the Christians who put their hand up, all of you Christians have admitted that you have a problem with Islam. And if you didn't put your hand up to say that you're against these things, I want to say, shame on you. Shame on you for equivocating about slavery. Shame on you for equivocating about paedophilia. Shame on you for equivocating about matters of religious liberty. The reality is that every person of goodwill, whether they are a Christian, a liberal, a communist, whatever your ideology, if you are against these things, then you are against Islam. And the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, the Dawagandists in this park permeate and sell lies.